Shout out. The Connects. Luis Guzman. Don't ever go, never leave my side. Passion's all I have, courage is my drive. And if I lost you, I would lose it all together. I wouldn't have
Welcome to I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast, where we highlight the journey of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business people alike to showcase that every light and dark moment create a beautiful piece of art. This is episode 43. I am your host, Luis Guzman. My guest today is the owner and proprietor of the Nutrition Kitchen, a meal prep service company that grounds itself in providing the best macros for your goals and not compromising taste. Full of nutrients and gluten-free ingredients, she has hundreds of creations that will keep your taste buds wanting more, such as the burger bowl, teriyaki turkey meatballs, and the breakfast fried rice as well. If you're big on sweets but still need your protein, don't worry. She has you covered with protein pancakes, funfetti muffins, as well as an assortment of protein cookies. She is a CrossFit Games master athlete, a magician chef that works magic with every meal she creates. She embodies discipline, strength, resilience, and is a staple in the fitness community for her dedication to health, well-being, and serving up health-conscious meals for the soul. So make sure you're hungry. Alison Douglas, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I
Hi.
appreciate it. Finally, you get to meet.
Yes.
Yes, and thank you to John for connecting us. I appreciate him.
Shout out to John and Paramount.
Paramount Gin. He was on here twice already. So he's like, he loves the platform. He's like texting me every week, hey, when's my episode coming? I said, dude, you gotta wait till like June. But it's coming. But hey, listen, thank you for making time today. I appreciate it. And I always start off every conversation with the same question. So I'm going to pose this to you now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Who is Alison Douglas?
Honestly, I'm always evolving. But
I like that.
I think at this point, at the core, I'm really connected to the word athlete.
Love
That
it.
is, I've been an athlete my whole life. Sports have been a big part of like who I am. I'm very competitive. 3 brothers, different sports every season through school. Played ice hockey in college. I've run a marathon. I played tennis. I grew up riding horses.
Wow.
And then through that competitive nature, found CrossFit, and now this is my sport of choice. I coach CrossFit. I train CrossFit, and then last year, right around this time, it was my birthday, May 3rd.
Happy birthday. See, we're right in the same month. I love it. Happy late birthday.
Yeah. And I had decided I wanted to make the CrossFit Games. So I went all in this year. And I went nuts. And I just became obsessed. And I was like, no, I'm going to make the games. I had to be top 30 in the world in my age division, which is this year I'm in the 40 to 44 bracket.
Okay. Wow.
And I fucking did it.
You did it. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I know this is like really cool for me to be able to share.
Absolutely.
So like this has been my whole life. Like at my core, I'm an athlete. And so then that connects me to like food. Like I need to fuel for performance, and I also want to look good. So I love food. So it's like food and fitness and athletes, and just I think that's it right now in one word.
That is so freaking. I mean, I love what you said, evolving, because I feel like that's something a lot of us struggle with, that we get to a certain point and it's like, okay, this is cool for now. But for me, and I think you kind of share the same sentiment, because I mean, I played baseball back in high school, but I consider myself an athlete because I work out 6 days a week and I'm constantly pushing myself. But I feel like there's always that taste for more. Like what else can we kind of destroy? Oh, we got to the top of the mountain. Let's build more mountain.
Wait, did you do that on purpose? That taste for more? Just because I have a meal prep company?
Well, you like that, right? That was a nice little double entendre. I was serving it up for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did that off the cuff, but it's funny you picked that up.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I guess because we're thinking about food too and what you do for a living, and I share the same sentiment about loving food. But the thing that I struggle with, and I think you can help me with this, is finding delicious food that is still good for you. Because you could work out like a maniac, but if your intake is not where it needs to be at, like your macros, your protein, your sugar, I get tired of hearing things. My wife does our meal prepping. She does a great job, by the way. I love you, babe. Thank you. Like she's like, I'm shocked that she can actually do it the way she's doing it, like dedication and the boiled chicken, the broccoli, blah, blah, but she makes it taste good.
Yeah.
You know, so I love that you do this as well. And everyone raves about how delicious this food is.
That's what makes it sustainable.
Yes.
Right. And that's what your wife has figured out. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, and obviously we're talking about food right now, but if anything, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to continue doing it. It's not going to be, you're not going to be consistent. You're not going to show up. You're not going to put in the effort. It's not going to be sustainable. So then there's no results.
Exactly.
And with food, there's all this pressure to like eat clean and look a certain way, but it's like there doesn't have to be so much sacrifice.
No.
It doesn't have to be so sad.
No. Because
let's enjoy it. Let's have fun with it. Let's have a little variety. Seasonings never hurt anyone.
Thank you. Yeah. It's if you do the same thing, it's mundane. It's like boring. And then you fall off the wagon and you'll find yourself at the McDonald's drive-thru having a Big Mac because you keep restricting yourself from having a flexible diet.
People are afraid.
Yeah. Why do you think they're afraid?
I don't know.
You know,
I heard this analogy once that, do you think a squirrel thinks about what they eat? But here we are, lost. We're lost as humans.
Yeah,
we don't know how to eat, what to eat. Part of it is the food industry, right? They're
big business.
It's about money.
Yeah.
It's not about your health.
They don't care. They put a bunch of pesticides and stuff in this food. The middle of the supermarket is always filled with the most worst stuff.
And right now there's this push towards eliminating certain ingredients in food, right? And trying to bring it back to simplify it. And I saw a post not too long ago about the ingredients in like mayonnaise. And like, it's like all like oil and eggs and salt, right? But now if you look at it, there's probably like 15 to 20 ingredients. What are we making? What are we eating?
Yes,
it's crazy.
Yes, and it's scary because it's causing cancer. It's causing a bunch of ailments. People are becoming the lifestyle nowadays is more sedentary. People are sitting down more. They're not going out for a jog. They're not walking. They can barely get physical at the gym for 30 minutes. And what feels comfortable to them? Oh, let me get some Jolly Ranchers, some popcorn, and sit in the sofa and watch TV, not knowing that they're putting poison in their body.
So you definitely have to pick your battles because it's expensive to eat healthy. And organic, everything, and local, this and that. So you do kind of have to pick your battles and what is that middle ground and how do you find that quote unquote balance that people are always looking for. And I hope that's what Nutrition Kitchen has sort of tapped into, where there is a balance of it being clean food, of it being healthier. And it's more like a home cooked meal as opposed to mass produced. It's never frozen. Like our menu changes every single week. So we're not pulling things out of the freezer and repurposing because we can't. Because one week we have pesto meatballs. The next week we have marinara meatball. The week after that we've got a honey sriracha. And it's always different. So we're not just like freezing and reusing. We have a limited menu because that's all we can. That forces our quality to
step up.
Yeah, you can't, if you look at a menu and they've got 35 items on the menu, how are they doing that all fresh? It's just not possible. So we've got like 9 to 10 and we put all of our heart and energy into those meals and people are like, wait, this is so good. I think we've found a really nice balance between it being clean and being flavorful, hitting your macros, being mindful of getting your proteins, lower on fats, high quality carbs, because that's what's important. So I take sort of some of the guesswork and the thinking out of it for you if you just want to like trust in me.
Gotcha. I mean, it sounds like you know what you're talking about. And I think a lot of people now, especially busy professionals, if you're working out, you're pretty disciplined for the most part, and maybe you don't have time to sit there and cook a meal. So we rather pay a fee for the service to let the genius or the expert tell us what's good for our bodies and what makes sense for our workout plan or our lifestyle, et cetera. And it does get expensive. So I think it's cool that you keep it limited, 9 to 10 recipes. You rotate every week, but you keep it. It's almost like an artisan vibe, right? Because you're not you're not like big box. You're not like, all right, I'm going to put all this GMO stuff in here. Be lazy, cut my bottom line a little. I'm sorry, build up my bottom line, cut out costs, be cheap. And then people don't have results. And you don't go to sleep on your pillow, good at night because you're not delivering on what you're promising. So I think that's a beautiful thing that what you're doing is you're putting a lot of heart and soul in every meal. And that shows, and people will come back, not because the food tastes good, because you care.
Yeah.
And you don't look at people like dollar signs.
Yeah.
You look at them like, let's help evolve.
I am the brand.
Mm-hmm.
I eat my own food.
Yeah.
I'm making what I enjoy. I'm making what I like. I eat it weekly. I'm my own quality control.
I love that.
So I understand the importance of meal prep because it's Wednesday and I've actually already eaten all of my meals and driving up here, I was like, I'm so hungry. What am I going to do for dinner? And so I'm in that situation where it's like, oh shoot, I didn't order enough for myself this week, or I didn't prep enough for myself this week. So I get the struggle, and I enjoy the convenience. I enjoy the variety. I can't eat the same thing day in and day out, week after week. I need the variety, which is why the menu changes all the time. But I do eat my own food, so I am that quality control, not just for consistency and flavor, but to make sure that I'm not just telling people, oh, it's good. Oh, you'll enjoy it. No, you'll lose weight or gain weight, depending on what your goals are. For me right now, it's performance based.
Correct.
And I know for a fact that it works. I've put it to the test.
Gotcha. No, you're doing a great job. And I want to take it back a step, go back a little bit and kind of get the whole 360 genesis behind why you started Nutrition Kitchen. What was the motivation behind it? And can you walk me through that? How that started for you?
Yeah, I think maybe this is part of my rock bottom a little bit.
Let's go.
I mean, again, been an athlete my whole life, love food, want to look good, want to feel good. Had a job which brought me down here to New Jersey. I'm originally from Vermont.
I could tell by the zip code.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait, I confused you for a client.
And I, just as an adult, right? Trying to figure out how to cook for yourself and that whole journey. I was dating a guy who was a bodybuilder and he was eating the boiled chicken. And I was like, this is disgusting.
It's boring. No seasoning,
it's
nothing.
Disgusting. It's
white
so
rice,
sad.
boiled chicken. I know it's depressing.
So sad. So I was like, there's got to be a way that you can enjoy your food and still look the way that you want to look. And so here I am experimenting. He ends up doing a bodybuilding show, looks great. He's kind of like the mayor at the local gym. So everyone's like, what did you do? What are you doing? And I was the one cooking. One thing led to another. The gym that I was at, my trainer wanted to do a show. She's like, look, I'm a mom. I'm a business owner. I'm a trainer. Can you help me?
Wow.
Can you cook for me? And I was like, sure, I'll help. And then it was, can you cook? These meals are great. Let's offer this service at the gym. We understand food and fitness goes hand in hand. And in order to get results, you only go to the gym for 1 hour a day. What do you do for the rest of the hours? Having food is going to help get you the results that you're looking for. And if I've partnered with a gym with my trainer, it helps her retention because they're getting the results. It's working between the two things. So one thing just led to another, and it was like people were ordering the food every week, and we were just doing this one gym. Wow. And then when I had moved down here to New Jersey, I had a 9-to-5 in marketing.
Did it suck?
And I just outgrew it. I was ready for something else. I wasn't really sure what that was. And so when they fired me, I got myself fired.
What happened? How'd you get fired?
There's just office drama,
God.
and I wouldn't call myself a whistleblower, but I don't stand for bullshit.
I hear you.
So I'm one to typically speak up and call it out, and it makes it for an uncomfortable situation. And so I think after a little while, there's she's got to go because she's calling us out on all this stuff.
It's like a call that we have to get rid of the disease.
She's not wrong, but we got to shut her up. So I got fired, and my parents were like, look, you don't want to find yourself in a position at another job and in 5 more years be like,
Same
this
thing
isn't what I
happens,
want
yeah.
either. And so I just sort of took some time to figure that out. So I was making money however I could, and food was one of those ways.
Gotcha.
And so that's when it was like, I'm cooking for my trainer and other people are asking me can you support me and cook me food? And then I found CrossFit and the right place at the right time. One of the meal prep companies went out of business because paleo was thing for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks to LeBron.
Yeah, it comes and goes. It was a
Yeah, it
fad.
was a fad.
And
Yeah,
I
just like
was
the
just
Atkins.
making good, clean food, like quality, balanced meals. And so one thing led to another, and right place, the right time. So I'm in this first CrossFit gym, my home gym, Power Pack CrossFit. I'm making meals. Everyone at the gym's ordering. Another local box is like, wait, who's putting food in your fridge? Because the one that we were using just went out of business. And it's like, oh, Nutrition Kitchen. So now
Damn.
I'm in 3 gyms. Next thing I know, like now I'm in 26. Wow. Yeah.
And how long did it take from 3, 4 to 26?
I don't know. I've been in business for 9 years.
Okay, 9 years.
And
Got
so
it.
it's just been this slow, consistent growth. For me, it's been about quality and consistency. It's not about the money. It's about lifestyle.
Gotcha.
So it's just been a real slow process of just, like, a lack of a better term, because we talked about before, evolving.
Yeah.
But it's allowed me to, like, I'm rooted in the CrossFit community. This is my training methodology of choice. This is my workout. This is my sport right now. I also coach it. So it's been all CrossFit gyms for the most part with how it grew because of the community. And food brings people together. CrossFit brings people together. And so I'm so thankful for, the gyms that like gave me a chance, gave me an opportunity, brought me in, supported me. And it's just been a really cool growth for the last 9 years of like my own evolution as an athlete in CrossFit and coach, and as a business owner, and being able to connect with all these places. And then, full circle, now going to the CrossFit Games on a worldwide stage.
That's
and
fire.
having the support from all of these local New Jersey gyms, just be like, wait, like that's our meal prep girl.
Yeah, we know her. It's so motivating, isn't it?
Oh my God. It's so cool.
And you've thrown, man, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, I'm thinking of things as you're telling me this. I mean, I'm formulating this in my mind as you're telling me the story. You kind of ran your business and are still running it kind of like the athlete mentality, where you use certain keywords like slow, consistent. That's what athletes do.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Discipline is key, and I don't care. You could be like not the most smartest, not the most talented, but if you have discipline,
effort,
and you wake up and you just go after it, even when you don't feel like it. I talk about this all the time. Mike Tyson's quote: "Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but you do it like you love it." You do that every freaking day, and compound interest, just like investing, little by little. The little wheels will start turning, and then that little snowball is going to turn into a freaking boulder of terror. It's going to knock over everything in its way. You know what I mean? So that's what you're doing. And I'm just enamored listening to your story, because and I know this is a trend with a lot of business owners. I want to ask you this question. You said you were in marketing. It sucked, 9 to 5, water cooler conversations and the whistleblower and everybody, whatever, right? But unconsciously, you were building this other process in your mind to make your own business through this marketing agency, through this marketing job. But it still kind of helped you form this idea of Nutrition Kitchen, no?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you're always learning, right? So I was learning about marketing. I was learning about the social media. I was learning about branding and messaging. I was learning how to connect with your niche target audience. And so, of course it was helpful. And I was able to lean on that to just sort of trust myself and figure it out. The company it was a life coaching school.
Okay.
So I also have my life coaching certification.
Come on, what have you not done yet? You got to climb Mount Everest. It's awesome.
And so there's just like a lot of personal growth and development there. There's a lot of communication styles and reflection that you learn. And so I was fortunate enough to have gone through that process and school and development in my mid late 20s.
Gotcha.
To just sort of like have that to lean on and just trust myself.
Got it.
Also know my character. Like I work hard. I like to work.
I mean, a family of athletes, and you say you have 3 brothers.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty stubborn too, right? So it's just like I'm competitive. That's what drives me. It's like I've always said too, if you enjoy something and you're really passionate about it and you actually lean in, the odds of you failing are just so slim.
They're slim. And
they're so slim.
And even if you do fail, you take something away from that's going to make you better for the next run.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem in today's society is that people are scared to fail. They're just like, I'll do it one day.
Well, you're trained, it's bad because you have to pass in school.
Yes.
And grades, right? They don't do SATs anymore, I don't think, for college. But it's
do
like
they don't do it anymore?
I don't know. It's been so long. But you're graded, right? And if you do poorly, then it's like, oh, well, then you're just like messing up. You're failing. Like you don't do just good enough. And then even with your job, if you do bad on a project or an assignment or don't get enough sales and aren't making enough money, then you get fired or you don't get a raise or so it's like, let me just ride that line of comfort and being just good enough. It's so safe and so dangerous to like just be good enough. But so many people are comfortable there. And at this point in my life, I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. I feel bad for those people who just settle and are just like okay with good enough because then there's more room for me.
I love that because
it's like
it's so true.
Cocky and
but
it's true.
You're speaking your truth because it's so easy now to stand out and be great because there's so many people that are average and they're losers. I'm sorry. They're average and they're losers. We're here. Say it out loud. You can clip this, Jake. People nowadays are average and they're losers. And guess what? Move out of the way because people like you,
I'm
people
happy
like me,
to step up.
We're going to step up and we're going to take the initiative and we're going to run them over. And that's what we're doing. And I think it goes back to competitiveness. It goes back to that athlete discipline mentality. If you don't have the discipline in anything in life, you're going to fall apart. That's a very it's like, the pyramid of food where I don't believe it now, but like the bottom and then the fat and the whatever. But the base of everything comes from discipline. It's built in discipline. And I think everything else you can learn. Discipline you have to learn too, but without discipline, I think nothing else moves. Do you think that makes sense to you?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, it's so you see so many things of like, oh, motivation. But when motivation runs out, you're left to rely on discipline.
It's the discipline. And you can feel, I can tell you right now, Alison, I want to run the New York Marathon. I'm going to do it. And the alarm goes off at 3:30. And I do this now because I do my cardio at the end of my workouts. And after doing an hour of weights and 15-minute abs, I look at that treadmill, I'm like, 20 minutes. But I do it.
Yeah.
It sucks. And I actually got a cramp the other day because I was going too fast. But you do it. And it felt so good. You never regret doing something that sucks in the moment. You regret not doing it because you look back and you're like, I'm still breathing. Yeah. I'm still alive. I got all this time with nothing to do and I could have done something.
So it goes back to your mindset. Why are you doing it? And then
intentionality. For
me, 1 year ago, I set the goal. I want to make it to the CrossFit Games. I knew so in the CrossFit competitive season, there's the CrossFit Open, which is the start of the season. And then for my age groups, there's semifinals and then the games. And I knew if I said I wanted to make semifinals, it was too safe. So I was like,
so
you know what?
Push the bar a little further.
I got to lean in a little bit more because I could be good enough and make semifinals. But they say like set goals that scare you. And I think sometimes it can be too scary that you lose the motivation, you have no discipline because it's like too hard. But for whatever reason, I had decided that I wanted this. And it was the same sort of click of when I ran the one and only marathon that I ran. It was just like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And I just made the decision and it was done.
Yeah.
So I made the decision, this is what I'm going to do. And then I set everything in motion to the training plan, the coaches, the routine. And then it was a non-negotiable. And on the days that, I didn't want to go, or in the middle of the workout when it's really hard and it's painful and you don't want to push anymore, I would say to myself, like, you said that you wanted this. And I knew that I needed to be top 30 in the world. And there would be moments and be like, top 30 is fucking insane.
It's hard.
That's insane. What am I doing? And it was like, but you said you wanted this and you're not going to back down. And so it was just like, you know what? I said I wanted this. And as bad as I want to pull up right now, the pain of falling short to me is what kept me going. The pain of not making it, I knew that I was going to look back and I didn't want to regret not trying harder. I didn't want to be like, you know what, if only I had done the abs and not just skipped it because I was tired. If only I had done that little extra effort, maybe. I didn't want the what ifs sitting in my head. So I made the decision of what I wanted. I'd committed to it. And I was constantly reminding myself, this is what you're working towards. And I told people about it. So it wasn't a secret. I had the accountability. I had the support. I had people being like, what are you doing today? Like, let me jump in with you. What's your workout? You know, I've also got my coach that I've paid for. Shout out Tim Paulson and Proven.
Tim Paulson.
Wouldn't be here without you.
Sweet.
My team, Tim. I mean, it made all the difference to just like have the support system, build the team, but commit to it. Like this was for me. And it was constantly reminding myself of the decision that I had made. And I didn't change the goal. I think sometimes it's like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. And it's like, you know what? I've lost 5, maybe 10 is good enough. And it's like, just stick with it. Just lean in. It's not going to be easy, but it could really be worth it.
No, 100%. And I share that sentiment with you. At one point, I was really big. I mean, my highest was 330 pounds. I was a shell of a person of who I am now. Depressed, eating fast food 3-4 times a day, drinking 4 or 5 sodas a day, eating sugary candy, eating sugary coffee, sweets, you name it. And I had to make the change. I bent over to tie my sneakers and I got dizzy. And I got so scared when I got dizzy. I was like, no, I got to change this. And it went from 330 to 260.
Wow.
And then it went from 260 to 280. Then it went from 280 to 230. Again, this is good enough, but I'm good. And then after my wedding, I saw the photos. I was like, ugh, I got the little fat there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this really serious. And I started the fasting, the intermittent fasting. I started meal prepping, started cutting carbs. I went from and my goal was 220. I said, I want to be 220. I got to 198.
Wow.
198. But then I was like, I'm too skinny. Then again, it's the body dysmorphia. Yeah. I'm too skinny. So now I'm like around 215 now, but I built more muscle around that. But the point is, I could have stopped at 220. But I was like, no, let's shatter this. Let's go the extra mile. Let's see how far we can take it.
You built momentum.
And you built momentum because now you're like, you look back and sometimes I look at those old pictures, I want to cry because I'm like, oh my God, that was a lost guy there that didn't love himself. And to see the transformation, for people to tell you look, they do the double take. Like, something's different. Something's different about you.
You carry yourself different.
You have more confidence. You have more energy. So I totally feel you on that, man. And again, going back to what you're saying about regret, I don't regret a damn thing because I did it. Now imagine me sitting here with you, 330 pounds, and I'm talking to a CrossFit athlete. That's like, what? I would feel horrible listening to this. Like, I should have lost weight 6 years ago, but the point is I did it.
But everyone has their own rock bottom. Everyone has a different starting point that sort of triggers them. Whether it's significant or not, it's significant for you, and whatever is going to be that catalyst to change, you just have to grab a hold of it. And then remember, people are like, what's your why? Remember your why.
Yeah, your why. Yeah. What's the fire in the pistons, man? What makes it move?
And I think when you just boil it down, it's like, why did I want to make it to the CrossFit Games? It's self-fulfilling. It's my own ego. Let's be honest. I just wanted this for me. As a younger athlete, playing ice hockey, I was on the Olympic development, scouting camps. I never leaned in more than I needed to. So I never made it there. And then I was being recruited for Division 3 and Division 1. I was
Sweet.
offered scholarships.
Wow.
I turned them down.
Come on.
I was like, I don't want to play Division 1. I don't want to be owned by you. And then it was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna go Division 3 because I wanted a little bit more flexibility. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna go Division 3, I want the best. So I went to Middlebury College. We won 3 NCAA championships.
Killing
so like
it.
we picked the best.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. We had a great time. Hockey
Holy
is so
cow.
fun. Everyone should play.
Ice hockey.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, how is that on your legs and calves? I mean, I see people.
It's fine.
It's
You're strong.
Is it like intense cardio? Like,
Of course, it's like high intervals every, minute and a half.
It's no joke.
But I lost my train of thought.
No, you were talking about, well, you said rock bottom, but then you started talking about the college. And then I was going to ask you, what was your rock bottom? But you cut me off before I was able to ask you. You were talking about...
the catalyst for change. It'll come back to me. Catalyst for change, your why. I think it's just like a mentality. Oh. So thank you. We got it. We're back.
Here we go.
Glitch.
You're good, Jake.
I had always done, it goes back to that whole like being good enough and that like comfort and that safe space. I was good enough. I did just enough. And I was that athlete that I could train for 4 to 6 weeks and get the same results that someone else needed to put in like 10 to 12.
Gotcha.
I was gifted genetically in that regard. I'm athletic. I have that like natural athleticism that you're just like born with. You can't teach. You either have it or you don't.
Got it.
And so I was able to get results just by giving enough. And so now here I am, like we graduate college, you're 22. And I was just like always, again, like on my team, I was good. I was just good enough to like, I wasn't the superstar. I don't have any like crazy accolades. I have no records. I wasn't the goal scorer. I wasn't the high point person, but like
Average.
I have like my seasons, right? Where it was like, oh shoot, like she was like up there. But then again, I like just did enough to like have my spot on the team and like play on the special teams a little bit. And that was it. And now here I am, just like as I was 39 turning 40, it was like, this is what I want. And I'm doing this for me. Like I always just played it a little safe. I was always the best. I was always the captain.
Gotcha.
But again, like just did enough.
Got it.
And
Why is that? Why did you just do enough?
I mean, you're like a teenager and I was good. Like that was all I needed to do.
Right.
And it's hard to do more.
It is hard.
But then, now here I am. And it was like, me and my husband are having the conversation like, well, do we want kids? Like, I'm going to be 40. Like, it's kind of like, it's got to happen soon. And I was like, do we have kids or do we try to go to the CrossFit Games? And he goes, yes.
That's legendary.
And he said, yes.
Come on.
And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah.
Wow.
I go, which one? He goes, yes. And I was like, okay, like this was my swan song to myself.
Gotcha.
This was it. Like I was doing this for me. Wow. And so I also didn't like want to let myself down, which is why it made it so easy for me to stay focused on this. Selfishly, I was hoping that since I'm in the CrossFit community, nutrition kitchen partners with so many CrossFit gyms, that it'd be like, how cool would it be to be like, there's a CrossFit Games athlete that makes our food. Like we partner with a meal prep company that gets what we do locally.
Perfect
and
marketing.
So I was like, I put all my eggs in one basket of just like, I didn't grow the business at all this year because I was like, I'm hoping that there will be some positive ripple effect if I make it. I don't know if I'm gonna, because this is really hard.
No, but I feel like, what's the deadline for that? When do you know if?
Oh, I made, like,
you made it already. Okay.
Yeah.
So when do you compete?
I compete in August, mid-August.
So now is the training step up a little bit more?
Yeah, it's like we had, so semifinals was the end of April.
Okay.
So I found out like basically like May 1st that I made it. So just like a little bit of a reset and then we'll ramp up.
And then you ramp up again.
Yeah.
God, how exciting must that feel for you, man?
I mean, it was pretty wild. And it was like, it was like the leaderboard. You submit your scores, everything's filmed, you have judges, and it was a blind leaderboard. So you're putting in your scores and you just have no idea what's going on. And it was like, okay, everything's closed at like 8 p.m. on Sunday. So me and my friends were like, refresh. Nothing is happening.
Oh my
like
God.
the website basically crashed. And so we went to bed not knowing. And so of course you're like waking up in the middle of the night trying to be like, oh, is it up now? Is it up now? And I woke up in the middle of the night and I had a message from my friend and he was like, oh my God, you fucking did it. And so it was just like so wild. But then, there's just like more waiting and they review the videos and it was a wild ride.
Wow, man. And why now? Why make that decision to turn it up a notch now?
Well, it goes back to just lifestyle. If we want to have kids, I got to carry it. And so everything changes. And I just my whole life is set up. I don't have the demands of needing to take care of a family right now. I can focus on recovery and sleep. And I have the flexibility to spend the hours in the gym. I have the support team of the Nutrition Kitchen team. There's 9 of us and I was able to lean on them and things just fell into place and this was it. This was my gift to myself.
You have a lot of great support around you, I see. And it's amazing to see that because I think that's missing a lot in not just the leadership, but in a business sense, having that tight-knit community to kind of all together in arms, we're going to get through this. It's so much easier when you have family around.
It's more fun.
It's more fun.
I did both individual sports and team sports growing up. So when I was 10 years old, I was a sponsored ski racer.
Come on.
Grew up in Stowe, Vermont.
Jeez, that's all you did was ski.
Yeah. Winter sports, or we're 2 miles from the mountain. And then my brother was playing ice hockey. And we were always at the rink. And so my mom made me go play. She was always like, you gotta go. And I was like, I don't wanna play hockey. I'm not doing it.
But she made you do it.
And yeah, my parents just put us into everything. And so finally she's like, some of your friends play, just go. And I was like, okay, fine. So I went and I never stopped.
And you loved it.
So I didn't start playing hockey till I was 10 or 11. Then obviously that's what I did in college. That was my number one sport and I went all in. So I quit ski racing. You can't do both. You had to do one or the other.
Pick the one you want,
But I went from individual sport to team sport. It was just so much fun. My friends were there. I wasn't standing at the top of a freezing mountain with the wind all by myself. I was in the locker room with my girlfriends and just the team environment is where I thrive. It's more fun.
Yeah, alone sports like tennis and stuff. And
I played tennis. I did it.
It sucked. Not as good as being in the hockey team.
It's just different.
It's different. But was it better than the ice hockey?
You learn a lot about yourself because you only have yourself to rely on, right? Golf, tennis. Yeah. It's just you out there.
Bowling.
Right. Whatever it is, it's just you. So you learn a lot to be able to rely on yourself. Win or lose, it's you.
Man, so you're self-reliant, so disciplined, so hungry, always evolving. You mentioned rock bottom earlier. You didn't get into it, but I'm going to ask you, what's the hardest thing you've been through in life?
I think 2 things pop up. One, most recently, divorce.
Okay.
That was 6 years ago, which it's just you're an adult and you made this decision.
Yeah.
This is the rest of my life, and then you're I changed my mind. And you're hurting someone. That was that was for sure the hardest.
I can imagine. I have had friends that have gotten divorced and they tell me it's the worst thing.
It's the best and worst. So I have also vowed when someone tells me they're getting divorced, I will never say, oh, I'm so sorry. Because it's truly congratulations. Good. You're not settling. You're not stuck. Yeah. I know it sucks, but this is so good. It's leading you to a life that you were meant to live.
Gotcha.
You're not stuck. It's not good enough.
Yes.
There's so much that's just good enough. So many people just settle because it's easy. I'm going to stay because it's easier to stay than to start all over.
Correct.
And so, there's certainly a pattern of no, I want more. I'm raising the bar. I want to level up. I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to stay.
You don't want to be sad for the rest of your life either in a life that's just on repeat that you're not happy with.
Yeah.
So I totally get it, man. Oh, wow. So that must have been difficult to kind of manage and work through at the moment 6 years ago, right? Versus where you are today. How did you restart?
So I remember just being like, this is as good as it's going to get. And I didn't want that feeling.
I see.
So then I leaned into me. I loved my life. I leaned into CrossFit. I leaned into training. I focused on me. So I also have an older brother that passed away 9 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was obviously pretty life altering.
Oldest?
Yeah, he's a twin. And so obviously that has like shaped a lot of like how I am in a lot of ways. But so between all of that like emotional drama and stress, at one point, like a few years later, it was kind of like, I need to take my life back.
Yeah.
And just because you're so sad and trying to operate, like, what does life look like without a sibling? And my family's up in Vermont. So like I'm not even there to support them through the grief and the process. I'm down here. And so I just like leaned into my friends, and I leaned into my own life. It was like you start to be like, I'm going to live on his behalf, right? I'm going to do things. I'm going to do the things that he can't do, and do the things that he would want me to do. And he wouldn't want me to be sad. It's like you find some reason. And then it was like, yeah, I need to take my life back. Like I was coaching CrossFit full time. I had a meal prep company, and it was like, I want to be the brand. I want to look the part. I want to be strong. I want to be fit. I want to like inspire people to be like, oh yeah, no, she looks like she eats clean.
Absolutely.
As opposed to some of these other meal prep companies where the owner does not look good.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I mean, it's like, is that what you want? Do you think they're eating their food, or are they just like, no, come eat my food. I promise you it's clean. And then you have other people, some bodybuilders, so many bodybuilders start meal prep companies. The discipline, the sacrifices, that's not realistic. There is a world, like the bodybuilding world is insane.
No, I try,
and it's just the effort and the discipline. It's wild. It's so admirable, but it's not for everybody.
No.
And it's not realistic. It's not sustainable.
Oh, you're going to be weak the whole time. Yeah. You can't have carbs.
No, but it's just like, it's not for the everyday human. So
it's a very niche thing to do.
Yeah, it was important to me to like be relatable with Nutrition Kitchen and just like in life. So it started this catalyst of being like, I got to do this for me. And I just like found my own internal motivation, and one thing led to another. I started tracking macros. I started taking training a little bit more seriously. I started to like get results. I started to lean out. I had like muscles I'd never had before. I've always been like a thicker, curvier athlete. And now for the first time ever, I was like lean and shredded.
Nice.
Like I was like, wow, macros are insane. This is so cool. And I just learned so much, again, like leaning into the food and Nutrition Kitchen and CrossFit, because it's like the Trinity is like you had all three working at the same time. All you're going to get is results out of that. Yeah. And then through that, how you relate to yourself when you start to get results is different. Yeah, you level up. Monster. You carry yourself differently. Yeah. I had more confidence than ever. And so that's one of those things of like, I changed the way that I looked, which meant I changed the way that I felt. I personally felt more confident in my own skin, which gave me the confidence to then emotionally and mentally say, I want more. I love that. I wasn't going to settle. I wasn't okay with good enough anymore. I want more. So you make the tough decisions, and like you go out and find the things that meet you at like where you're at. Like I wasn't willing to settle. And the divorce and obviously the loss of your brother, was that like the catalyst for this new mentality you were leaning into as far as, I want more, I'm not going to settle for less? Was that? I think I've always kind of been like that. But when you are just like, I don't know, I guess I just like gained some clarity, and I was like, this is what I want. And then it felt good. So then whatever feels good, you do more of. And that's how you build the momentum. And then when you connect it with discipline and motivation, and then you build momentum towards it. And it's like, and then it just keeps happening, and you gain more results, and then you reevaluate, and then you level up again. And it's like, you just keep raising the bar. My mom had said to me at one point, you told me, in this relationship, this is the happiest you've ever been. And then I met a new guy, and I was like, yeah, exactly. That was true at the time. I didn't know I didn't know it got better. And I'm telling you now, it's better. Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
But you never have to settle. Like, you can raise the bar.
Is there ever enough?
I think you have to have perspective. You can't be greedy. Yeah, so I think there's that element of like, look how far you've come, but then like, look how far you can go. Gotcha. And I think being present is really important, because this is all we have. You've got to just like recognize where you are, stay focused on where you want to go, but take a moment and reflect and realize how far you've come, the journey you've been on. And like, here we are. I'm
laughing because my wife tells me that all the time, because I can be very self-deprecating. Like, I'm trying to gain more muscle, so I'm lifting super heavy. But then, I feel like I'm more top heavy. My stomach is still fine, but I'm like, I think I'm fat. Say, babe, look how far you've come. Like, stop saying that. Stop saying you're fat. But it's like, I'm so hard on myself. Like, every little thing I overanalyze, I overthink about it. I'm like, you suck. And it could be I do it at the gym. If I'm lifting and I'm at that the last 2 reps, you're shaking. You freaking suck. You're nothing. I say it, but then I do it. But it's like, it's kind of like a way to psych me out to like push harder. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm answering my own question here about what I asked you, if when is enough? I mean, enough is the moment. Enough is right now. Enough is you and me sitting here having a podcast. We're enough already. But looking back, it's like a reminder. Like I always say, God made your feet forward, but he couldn't make your feet go 360. And there's a reason for that, because you're not walking back. But you can turn your neck halfway to see where you've been. And I live by that, because it's like, no matter how bad I was before, I'm not going back to that.
Yeah.
So I think what you said was very poignant, because it's true. You got to be present. You got to enjoy the wins. But then also we have to struggle with that what's next thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like a constant. And I think highly driven people like you and me, we thrive in the what's next. We thrive in the what's the next challenge. But I think it's also good, to your point, to kind of enjoy the moment where we're at and embrace the wins that we've gotten to.
Yeah.
But I'm asking you this, but I'm struggling with myself. How do you do that? How do you enjoy the moment but not become complacent?
Well, I think you have to train your mind the same way you train your body. It takes practice. You got to get the reps in, right? So you have to, know what to do when you go to the gym. It's not as easy. Your mind is a muscle, and you've got to flex it. You've got to strengthen it. You have to do the personal development work. What does that look like? Maybe it's reading a book. Yeah. Like personal development books, what's the #1 seller? And you take a look at that, and that's where you start. And you just like read every day for a little bit, and you start to take some of that in. Or for some people, it's like meditation. What is meditation? For me, honestly, it's like, let me just sit with my morning coffee and just like, that's it. Just like slowly wake up, just like enjoy your coffee and just like chill, and whatever comes up. And you let it comes and goes, and you just sort of be. It's like people don't know how to be alone or be quiet. We're always on our phones. We're always scrolling. There's always noise, distraction, instant gratification, right? So it's like, just be and just like see what comes up. So that's about like, because this is all we have. This is about being present and grounded. So there's like certain rituals, habits that you have to figure out what works for you, and then do those things. And now it's part of your routine, just like what to do to get present or get it. You know what? Even as an athlete, like how do you get in the zone? Music,
warm-ups, stretching.
Right.
But music
but
is the biggest thing.
You've got this routine. You know exactly what's required to get in the zone and get focused when you hit your gym session. It's no different when it comes to releasing stress, being present, and like grounding yourself. It's like, these are the things. And people are always like, just take like 5 deep breaths. I'm like, I'm not big on that, but I'm good. I've done it enough where it's like in your car, you can just sort of like be calm.
Yeah.
And you practice it little by little, and then it becomes second nature a little bit. So I think that's where it's like, okay, if I'm present, then you relate to yourself a little bit differently because you're not as like self-deprecating. You're more maybe appreciative, show a little bit more gratitude, a little bit more grace with yourself.
You and my wife got to hang out. I'm laughing because you sound just like everything you're telling me is what she does.
Yeah.
I can't talk to her for like the first hour of the day. She has to drink her coffee. If I say something, I'm hype in the morning.
Everyone's different though. You got to find your little routine.
And I have my routine, but sometimes that involves me bothering her. And then she's like, gives me the look. Like sometimes she won't even say it. She just point at her earbuds because she's listening to something.
Right. But, and maybe it's like a certain song.
Yeah.
Or you could go on Spotify, like meditation podcast or playlist, like whatever is going to like help you tap into it to like eliminate certain distractions, even if it's for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're just able to do like 5 minutes in your car, 5 minutes like to work, 5 minutes on your way home from work, maybe like 5 minutes right before the podcast. Like who knows? And now it's happening more often. You're strengthening that muscle. You're getting the reps in. And
that makes so much sense. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it brings clarity too.
It does. I do that. I have that routine as I'm driving. It's like a 10-minute drive from my house to the gym. And it's just, sometimes it's silence. Sometimes it's a podcast about nothing, just funny, salacious stuff to like, take the edge off that I'm driving at 3:30 in the morning, or sometimes it's something very sports driven, motivation speech, whatever. But I have my certain ways. And when I get there, it's all right, time to turn it on. And then sometimes when I'm done with my day, I'm driving home. Sometimes I'll drive 10 minutes in silence, like listen to the tires on the road, look at people next to me, like, oh, they're arguing. Oh, look at that kid laughing.
Yeah.
Like just like you said, being present in the moment of just, it's a sunny day. It's beautiful. What's that smell? Oh my God, I gotta get gas. Like, it's just like all these things that you're being in that moment. I have moments and specks of that, but again, it's like you're telling me, and my wife tells me this all the time, is I have to be more in that state. And I think through that, you find that peace. You know what I mean? I think you found it already.
And then I think you're able to have a clearer conversation of like, where do you push? Where do you lean in? What are your goals? And so it's like, there's the whole, how you do anything is how you do everything, but also like you either grow or die. You got to evolve.
You got to evolve. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, and we're all aging. We're always changing. The only constant is change.
I love that. Yeah, it's true. If someone said to me one time, if I am the same person that I was 5 years ago today, I wasted 5 years of my life. And I felt that. Because now, I mean, I'll see people from like 5-10 years ago that I've known, and I'm like,
yeah, honestly,
it's like there's no commonality.
I feel a little bad for the people who are just like, they're the same person.
Right? 'Cause you see the potential and you want to squeeze it out of them.
Yeah.
But they don't see it in themselves.
Yeah.
And you got to learn to just let go. It's not your life. But then a part of you cares because you know how good it feels to be on this side.
Right, but then it goes,
come join the party.
And it goes back to like, you know what? I'm okay if you want to be just good enough. Like,
more time for me, more shine for me.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's hard, right? Because as human beings, we want to be compassionate and caring, and we want to have community. But you can only lead a horse to the water. You can't make it drink.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you got to let go and let them figure it out. And just, I know it sounds selfish, but worry about yourself. And I think that's something you said about decompression and, meditation. What worked a lot for me in my life was therapy. And I'm still in therapy to this day. Have you ever gone to therapy at all?
I have.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm also a life coach.
That's right. Now, I went through thank God, I love Carla to death. She's my therapist. But so many things that unconsciously I wasn't aware of that she made aware to me. And it's like night and day. I mean, it took 4 years, to get there. And now it's like you said, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And now I know, and now I want to accelerate my goals because I'm like, oh, you were just like stuck on neutral for so long because you didn't know. You had no confidence. You were mad at your dad, mad at your mom, scared of yourself, no confidence. boom, now I'm like on drive and I'm going 100 miles an hour.
So I think for me, I don't know where this comes from. Maybe it's definitely like kind of my mom's wiring a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty composed. I trust myself in really stressful situations to just be able to show up. It's also my ability as an athlete. I know I perform under pressure. Some people crumble under pressure. Like I know and trust that like 3, 2, 1, go, I show up.
Yes.
So even if it's catastrophic, right? Like if there's a situation, an emergency, like I trust myself. I'm not one of those like frantic, like, oh my God, like what do we do?
Yeah.
I'm just like, do this, do that. Like I don't know why or where that comes from. But it's just kind of like, just pump the brakes for a little bit. And I don't get too rattled by things. It's like,
steady.
I'll have a moment where I get like, I'll vent. I get really worked up. I can be confrontational for sure. But at the end of the day, it's like, is it that big of a deal?
It's true. And then when you black out, you actually feel worse after the fact.
Yeah.
Like once you get back to zero and like, damn, why did I say that to that person? I didn't need to do that. You know what I mean? And it's just, we're built on emotions. We're built on being in the moment, as you said. And sometimes that can go a little far if you don't catch yourself. You know, you got to have that discipline to understand what you're dealing with and know how to navigate through these pockets of emotion, stress, anger, adversity, life,
Sports
problems.
helps with that.
Yes.
Sports. You learn how to lose.
True. You learn. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you don't know how to lose, you just are enabled to always think you're going to win, even when you're wrong.
Especially now. Like that's what everyone gets a participation award.
It's ridiculous, right?
We're so soft.
Super soft.
Our society is so soft.
When I played baseball, our coaches would make us run till we threw up.
Yeah.
And then run more and stop crying.
Yeah.
Little B words. Like he would say these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now you say that to a kid, like they'll have like a community Facebook page about
canceled.
you. You're canceled. Yeah. When did that even become a thing? Like, why can't you be your honest self? I mean, obviously you have to respect.
I can't answer that. That's a whole different podcast.
Like, listen, you can be respectful, right? I mean, everybody has their own opinions or whatever. But when has it become illegal to speak your mind? You don't have to be a douche about it. You could be honest, but articulate yourself in a way that gets your point across and you don't get canceled.
I am brutally honest. I don't have time to sugarcoat it. And because of that, I think people do view me as like, I can be a bitch, right? And I'm like, what? Because I'm telling the truth? Because I'm fully aware my delivery could be a bit softer. Right. And I understand how that could help with the conversation of massaging the message a bit. But it's still the same message. I just delivered it very straightforward.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm saving us both time. You know exactly where I stand. And it's not just black and white for me. I'm just like brutally honest.
Yeah.
And I think I also reframe that to tough love. I am tough
Being
and I'm
blunt.
delivering it with love. And I'm sharing this with you and I'm being honest with you and I'm telling you from a place of love. But it is tough. And not everyone can handle that. And so it's like, you either love me or hate me. And it's like, take it or leave it. Like, I know I'm confident in that, like, I'm not trying, like, I'm not mean, but I'm brutally honest. And I am fully aware that that is like really hard for some people. But I've now, through some of the things that I've been through too, I'm committed to like sharing the hard things. Like maybe if one of my friends had been like, are you really happy in your relationship? Maybe I never would have gotten married. I don't know. Like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's like, how do you know he's the one?
Yeah.
They don't even, I don't know, just like to phrase a question that makes me think and be like, let me think about that. I'm not sure.
Right.
And so I wish someone had done that for me to make me think about sort of like what I was getting into and the decisions I was making, or just to reevaluate. And so at this point, it's like, I will be that person for other people that I wish I had.
Love that.
And so that's like, you could lose friends over that kind of stuff.
I've lost many.
And I mean, I've had really hard conversations with some of my friends of being like, wait, you said this to me and that was like really offensive. And it's like, I'm sorry that was offensive. This is where I was coming from with that. And then we're on the same page and they understand. And it's like, I wasn't saying that to be a cold-hearted bitch. I was saying that because I love you so much. And I don't want you to go down a path that I've been down of like, I'm like not as happy as I could be. And I just wish someone had asked me the question that would have made me think. And so, yeah, I don't know why I feel that that's important, but I'm like, I don't think people have that. So I'll try and be that for them.
Well, you know what I think it is? I think your mentality and what you do for a living with Nutrition Kitchen, with your discipline with CrossFit, there's another word that is commensurate with all that, and that's the A word, accountability. And unfortunately, a lot of people that are not doing the right thing do not like to be held accountable. And they take it as a threat, as an attack on their self-being. I'm offended. You're not my friend no more. I don't like you. Guess what? Be held accountable and have the tough conversations. That is when growth will happen. It won't happen being all nice and easy and, just, lay it on them soft, don't be too hard on them. No, I had a conversation with my friend. You're an alcoholic. You drink way too much. I love you. I made sure I said that. I love you, but I can't hang out with you because I can drink sociably, responsibly, but I will feel guilty doing that with you because you're an addict. Mm-hmm. And he's tears in his eyes as I'm telling him this. I love him to death, and he actually just stopped drinking. And I'm so thankful for that because I'm not saying that conversation had anything to do with it, but maybe it was a flicker in his mind. Like, you know what? Lou's right. I'm going to try this, and still my friend to this day, and I love him to death. But some people aren't ready to hear that because you have to look at yourself. And when you look at yourself, sometimes you see a lot of disgusting parts of yourself that you're not ready to face. Mm-hmm. But you being blunt and honest, you're just like, here you go. Look. Yeah. And some people can't handle it.
And I try and be as brutally honest with myself as well. But yeah.
Everything good, Jake? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. We're almost wrapped up. But no, it's so true. Like, and I think we share that sentiment. And I think also people that are offended by that is because they're not strong enough yet. Because you could probably have a conversation like that with strong people and they're not going to be offended. Am I wrong? Am I right?
Yeah. And I mean, even now, like I've had situations with some of my friends, like just this past weekend, it was like, remember that time a couple years ago when we had to have a like tough conversation? Like it in the moment, it probably had us grow apart a little bit, but now circling back, like it ultimately made us closer.
It does, because it's the true conversation. Mm-hmm. It's the real deal. The BS and the like enabling and just like putting you up on a pedestal. Oh yes, you blacked out on that person. It's okay. It was their fault. No, that's enabling.
Yeah.
You're wilding out. Chill.
And I think it comes from a place of, I think the common theme is like, you have more potential. I personally have more potential, right? It was like I went after the CrossFit Games because it was like, I think I could do it. I know I'm athletic. I think I can lean in. Let me get the right team around me and see what I'm capable of. And that's just, in one aspect of my life. And here we are talking about like other people, just like little areas of your life. Like you've got more potential. Like you can overcome this. You can do better. Absolutely. We can do better. Don't ever settle. And I think that's just sort of like the common thread and theme of a lot of these conversations or like a lot of the goals. Like, why do you want more? Because it's fun. Like it gives us something to do. Bond over, but it's like those are the kinds of relationships that I want. Like I want real relationships. I want the relationships that are built through vulnerability, that like truly bond people, and that's from tough conversations and doing hard things. And yeah,
no, you're blowing my mind right now because I feel like-minded people kind of go through the same struggles. I think there's some type of connective tissue, like a connective bond that we share with certain aspects, because what you're telling me is what I've been through in my life with certain people that I don't talk to anymore, or people I had to cut off, or lifestyle changes, etc. But I think it's all goes back to the theme of never stop evolving. And you know what? You're going to have to break a couple eggs to make an omelet, right? So you're going to have to keep evolving. And through that process, you're going to lose some people. You're going to lose some things. You're going to lose some qualities. You're going to lose some lifestyle habits, but it's all for the greater good. But don't stop, because the best is yet to come. And I think that is the true ethos of not your life, but everything you create in that life, from your business, from your CrossFit, from your challenges of an athlete, young ice hockey, to NCAA championships, to divorce, to remarried. I mean, man, that's a book. You got a book on your hands. I'm just saying, like, you are inspiring to me, but I want to know, what would you say to the young girl that wants to be a business owner, that wants to be an athlete? What would be your message to all the young women listening to this?
I think it just sort of goes back to, like, do more of what makes you happy. It's that simple.
Period. Stop.
Yeah. Just do more of what makes you happy. That's why I was like, I was like, what's going to make me happy and just like fulfill my ego and give me a sense of, like, I guess a little pride, or just be like, you know, I did that. Like I put in the work. No one can take away, like, the effort that I put in, like, whether I made it to the CrossFit Games or not. Like, I'm the fittest I've ever been in my whole life. Yeah. No one can take that away from me. I'm competitive and I'm attached to the results. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, who isn't? Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, this is what made me happy. And like making it was going to make me happy for whatever I, attached to that. You also hear things of, like, there was an Aaron Rodgers documentary and he was like, all I ever wanted to do is win the Super Bowl. And then I got the Super Bowl. And then I was like, what do you do after that? You win another Super Bowl. And he's like, I'm still not happy. So I'm full, like, again, I'm aware. I have the self-awareness and I've done the work, and I'm like, it's not making it to the CrossFit Games that's going to make me happy. It's knowing that I put in the effort and the journey, and I was committed, and I have no regrets about the process. Whatever happens, happens. I do want to make it, but it's like, yeah, like, we fucking did it.
Yeah, we did
and
it,
this makes me happy. Like, I love the relationships that I've built and the people that I've met through the process. So yeah, it's just like, do more of what makes you happy. Like, feeding people makes me happy. Food has a way of bringing people together. And so I really enjoy, like, the relationships that I've made with gyms through food. There's something, like, really cool when you just, like, sit down and have a meal with someone or people, and, like, the conversations that happen organically. But even in the gym, like, relationships are different when you like sweat and struggle with people. And so I'm really lucky that I get to do it with food and fitness.
So though you got the best of both, man. Because everybody, I mean, in that community, you love to work out, you love to eat, and you have that tight-knit group around you. It's the same with me. I go to the gym in the morning. I don't know half of their names, but we share so much commonality, and we see the hard work. We see the struggle. And I kind of look forward to it. Oh, I'm going to the gym. Oh, how come Rick's not here? Where the heck's he at? Oh, wait a minute. Because you're so used to seeing the familiar faces, and it's like you kind of feel comfortable. Okay, everybody's here. All right, we're working out. Everybody's in this together. Hey, you need a spot? I got you. Hey, it's just, it feels so good.
It's about the people.
Yes, and it's we're doing the hardest thing first thing in the morning. So it's like that right there takes a lot of guts and a lot of effort. And if you can do that, the rest of the day is going to be easy. You're going to make it easy. You know what I mean? But being in the trenches with these people, whether it's your gym partners, your CrossFit partners, it just makes it so much more rewarding at the end of the day. And I think, getting back to your point about that Enigma show, the Aaron Rodgers with the Super Bowl, you can't put a price on, happiness. You can have as many accolades as you want. You can have as many trophies, Super Bowl wins as you want, but it's not going to fulfill whatever you have inside of you. That has to be fulfilled by you. That can't be fulfilled by any external force or any external material item or any type of thing that's, not really a spiritual part of who you are. Love makes you feel that. Self-love makes you feel that. Family makes you feel that. Community makes you feel that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reward. The money and the success is a byproduct of what you love to do. And I think you share that with Nutrition Kitchen. I share that with this podcast. I don't make money off of this yet, but I love sharing stories like yours. Yeah. And it feels more, what's better than making $100 or whatever the case is when someone texts me or DMs me and says, wow, my friend was battling with depression, and the guy you had on that talked about suicide, I show him the video. He wants to go to therapy now. To me, that makes me feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, because I'm in service to this platform for people. I'm in service to you right now because I want people to hear your story, but you're servicing me by this inspiration you're giving me. This is worth more than dollars because this is what makes humans move. And I think you have tapped into that and you kind of are mastering it, if I say so myself, with the Nutrition Kitchen.
I have no idea.
What? Come on, you're feeding the soul.
I
mean, that's the connective place to anybody's heart is food. And for you to do it for a healthy reason, like, these aren't clogging my arteries. This is not giving me bad cholesterol. Sure, let's do it. So I think what you're doing is a huge service for the community and for people in health in general. And you're able to get a front row seat to people's lifestyle change based off the food you give them. I think it's phenomenal. Seriously.
Thank you.
No, this is amazing. I have a couple last minute questions to ask. These are my mastermind questions.
Great.
Okay. I have a couple I'm going to ask, but I'm also going to go off the cuff. I'm going to start with the first one, which I'm intrigued to hear because we're talking about food. What is your go-to cheat meal?
Donuts.
Now, homemade donuts, not Dunkin'.
No.
You don't seem like
Once Bitten in Red Bank is so good.
Bitten.
My favorite
Yes.
donuts of all time are in Maine. Holy Donut.
Holy Donut? Is that the
Holy
sticker right there?
Donut.
Look at that. I got to go to check. I
Holy
want to go to
Donut
Maine. Come
in Maine.
on.
They're so freaking good.
Delicious? Better than Once Bitten?
Different.
Different?
Very different. And because I can't ever get them because we're here, they actually ship now. They do ship now. So it's just like, it's so special.
Nice. So that's your go-to cheat. I love it.
Burgers and fries.
Burgers and fries. Pizza, burgers and fries for me.
Yeah.
I can't go wrong with those. Main Street Donuts. You ever had it?
No.
That's in Matawan. You should check it out. I interviewed the owner. Delicious. Homemade, made to order. Very similar to Once Bitten, but Once Bitten is like epic level. Like, I mean, I freaking had a car on my donut. Yeah. Like they make it, it's crazy, but it's delicious. But I'll take that like one bite and then literally Once Bitten because then I'll put it away.
No, I ate 3.
Stop. In one sitting?
Yes.
How?
It's so good.
How? You really did?
Yes.
I would feel so bad after like one donut.
No, there's no bad. I work out. I like to eat. I work out so I can eat.
I work out and then I still feel guilty for eating bad. It's insane.
No, so tracking macros has helped me with that. Right? Like
okay.
I have a different relationship with good and bad food. Mm-hmm. And I'm not if it fits your macros, it's okay to eat it. I definitely obviously believe in health. But it's a step in that direction of learning what buckets food falls into and the relationship that you have with calories. Because I mean, I already know I have 1,000 calories left that I need to eat today. And I could probably just go eat a donut, right? And so it's like, I need to eat. And I know that if I don't hit my numbers, if I don't hit my calories, my training tomorrow will suffer. Yes. I will be dragging. I won't be recovered and I'm hurting. So I have a very different relationship with food. It's taken a very long time to get there. And this whole training journey has certainly shifted my relationship with food. But so I can throw down 3.
I love that, man. That's awesome, man. I'm guilty with 1. You're inspiring me. Well, I always feel like when I eat steak the night before a workout, I go crazy in the workout. Is that because of all the protein?
You're fueled up. I mean, you need the calories. You need the energy. It's energy.
It's energy. Because I work out fasted. But I work out fasted.
No.
Yeah. I just do a scoop of creatine.
I guess you work out in the morning. Just try a little bit of carb. Just a little. Just like a little
buddy
snack.
told me, eat a banana.
Yeah. Just get a little bit of fuel in you and see how you feel. Because if you're lifting weights tired, like your body just has no reserves.
And what happens to my body if I have no reserves?
Well, you're not, I mean, your goal is to build muscle,
yeah.
which is by moving more weight. And if you have no energy, you can't move the weight. So if you have the fuel on board, you're able to move the weight, which builds the muscle.
Yeah, so I'm doing a lot with no carbs in me.
So imagine if you're fueled up.
All right, I'm going to try that. I'll let you know how it goes. What book have you read that inspired you the most?
Ooh, I do read.
Everyone says that on this podcast.
I know, I do read. I've been reading just like, like your beach reads lately. What sticks out? I was just looking at one on my bookshelf. I think it was How to Give Less Fucks.
Really?
Not that's just
subtle,
like
the subtle way.
Yes. The subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Subtle art, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, Alison, did you write that?"
It's a good book. I read a little bit of it.
Not that it's the one that's inspiring me. It's just the one that I saw on my bookshelf.
Mind,
so it's like top of mind. But I think it's a really great way to how to not to get so rattled, not to take everything so seriously. Maybe just have an element of like not projecting into the future, not worrying about the past. It's like we only have the here and now. So like the subtle art of not giving a fuck. It's like, don't get caught up in the bullshit that hasn't happened. It's not happening.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I think the message in that is ultimately like, how do you stay a little bit more present and not get so stressed out? Gotcha.
Good advice. Have you ever had any vices and how did you overcome them?
Vices. Well, so I used to have an eating disorder in college.
Me too.
So I think that would be a vice, right?
Really?
Like I was just like, I was bulimic. I was obsessed with like binging and purging.
Come on. Why?
Lack of control.
Okay.
For sure. So I'm a junior in college. You're like upperclassmen and you think you've got it all figured out. And like there was just like something missing and I didn't know what. I think I felt a little out of control. Food I could control, but I didn't want to get fat. And so it was like it just had this really bad cycle of binging and purging. Yeah, like I have no relationship to it now.
How'd you get out of it?
I literally made a decision. I was like, this doesn't serve me anymore. Like it served a purpose because of control. Like people get like something's off in life. So why are you so fixated on food? What is going on? Again, I think it's also just like my mentality of like, I'm able to reflect. I'm able to acknowledge and grow and move on. But yeah, I probably struggled for like 5 years. And then it was just like an alcoholic, it's like, well, you can't drink anymore. It's like, well, we need food to survive. I got to figure this out. But yeah, it just didn't serve a purpose for me anymore. Like my life was different. I was good. I was fine. Like, what am I doing? This is annoying. It was annoying.
Yeah, it was annoying.
It got annoying.
And it's one of those things that, it's like one of those things, you have to stop doing and it eats away at you. And then eventually you just got to, hey, listen, you got to bite the bullet.
You change your relationship with food. You change your you evolve. You grow.
That's the growing theme of this podcast. I love it. Last question before I get you out of here, Alison. What's the last thing you purchased that changed your life?
My truck.
Nice. What kind of truck you got?
I have an F-150.
Me too.
Yes.
XLT?
Is that yours out there?
Yeah, the all black one. Triple black. Come on. You don't mess around. We got STX, XLT, Lariat. XLT. That's why I got XLT. Nice. What year?
I got it last year.
I got it 2024.
I got it 5-6 years ago, and then I just got a new one last year.
Nice.
But I had a Nissan Rogue. It just like served its purpose. It was great. My dad's always had a truck. I just like loved it. Like that was just like, oh, I love this thing. I've always wanted one. I just like, why am I driving this? I don't need this. I live in New Jersey. Like this just doesn't make any sense.
Trucks are awesome.
And then one day, I have like the meal prep business. I'm like moving fridges all the time. I've got so much stuff in there. And my car was just like, I don't know, like I needed an upgrade.
Absolutely.
And I was like, why am I not just gonna like go get my dream car, which is
Get it.
my
I'm so
truck.
happy you got it, man.
And yeah, it was kind of like, this is what I've always wanted. Why wouldn't I? What am I waiting for? Like, just do it. And I think that was also one of the moments in my life that I like leveled up. Like, I didn't need to just like have good enough anymore. It was like, no, like do more of what makes you happy. Like, go do those things. Like, get the thing. And so I think I remember getting in it and driving. Like, I grew up driving my dad's truck, so I knew what it felt like. I just like drove it around the parking lot, and I was like, it drives the way that I know it drives. Like, this is what I want. It's done.
Awesome.
And the guy was like, just take it down the road. And I was like, okay, fine. But once it was finally mine, like it was this you feel differently about yourself. Like you got some results, and it's just like, yeah, you carry yourself a little bit differently. And I remember just like driving with the windows down one time and being like, this is all
awesome.
I've ever wanted.
Awesome. I feel you on that, man. I'll share some real small tidbit before we get out of here. I had a 1983 Celica gifted to me from my dad when I was 16, when I graduated high school, or 17. And it was so bad, I had to drive home from college my first year with the EB brake because the brakes went out on me. And it was a flip. The lights in the front. It was like high. Like one was down, one was up. And I remember getting my 94 Toyota Corolla, how souped up I was. And to this day, and it's funny, it's just a thing of mine. It's like, I'll get a new car. My business, I buy trucks like every 3 or 4 years. And it never, like, I'll have the brand new truck, turn it on, drive off the lot. And I'm like watery-eyed because I remember having that Celica.
Yeah.
And having to drive with the emergency brake, and how hard I worked to get to this point. And I never forget that. No matter how successful I get, I never forget where I came from. And I think that's what kind of keeps me grounded and pushes me to always want more.
So my challenge to you then.
Talk to me.
Is the next time that you like look in the mirror and you've got this negative self-talk, is you need to remember like where you started and how far you've come and like what you've done to get to this point.
So true. No, it's true. And I think it's funny. You're verbatim saying everything my wife is saying, but now hearing it from someone else, it's like, maybe she's onto something because I'm just too hard on myself. But you have
the experience of this car and like how important it was, and recognize every time you get in that truck, like the feeling that you have. So you understand the practice of looking back and recognizing and being proud of where you are.
Yeah.
So you know how to do it. You just have to apply it to a different area of your life.
That's it. Well said. Wow. Alison, thank you, life coach. Awesome. Well, that's a beautiful way to end it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Alison. Greatly appreciate it. Before we get you out of here, take a couple moments. Your camera's right there. Let everyone know where they can find you. Nutrition Kitchen, what's going on in the business, what's coming up for you next, promo, where they could, all that good stuff.
Nutrition Kitch.
Oh, yeah.
On Instagram, Nutrition Kitch. If you want to follow me, it's Alison Nutrition Kitch on Instagram. We put everything out on Instagram, but yeah, message me. It's me on there.
There she is. Alison, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. And we'll be talking again soon, shortly, all right?
Please.
Yes, that is a wrap on episode 43 of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast. If this podcast inspired or moved you in any way, please subscribe to our Apple, Spotify, and YouTube platforms by typing in Luis Guzman, I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman, and clicking that subscribe button. Please make sure to follow my Instagram handle, I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman, for further content and updates. I am thankful for every listener. I pray you have a blessed one, not a stressed one. Peace. Look at you.